Hello,
Hi.
I'm joined by Isabel, my sister, and we're gonna play a video game that she's no idea about. Yeah, you are.
No.
We're gonna play Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which is the best Metal Gear game, Isabel.
Is it?
It is.
No.
I've only got one save file on his, so we're not gonna use that one. We're going to start a new game. Are we playing it for the first time? No, we're not. I like MGS3. We're gonna play a normal.
Okay.
It's a good game. You'll like it. But we need to set the controller down because there's some talking.
After the end of World War II, the world was
Gotta pay
split into
attention to the
two,
story.
East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
I hope you're ready for some story. It's a good story. It's actually the simplest one to follow.
Okay.
People in voice.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check.
This
On
is
main
our team.
parachute.
All right.
You
ready
won't
to
see
go?
him ever again.
Drop zone still showing a high pressure.
Well, you will, but through Kodak.
Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
So they talk to you over radio.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
See, it's cool because he threw it in slow motion.
Okay. No, we didn't. Set the whole thing on fire now.
No, he's not. They're in a big metal plane.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6
coffee's
minutes to drop
shit.
off. Opening rear
I
hatch.
don't drink coffee, I don't know.
Oh. It's vibrating. You can. I'll put it next to your arm so you can feel it as well.
Starting.
You can be immersed in the gameplay. You like the opening theme, didn't you?
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius.
What do you mean it was too long?
2 minutes to drop
It was
off.
short by Metal
Stand
Gear
up.
standards.
It's 3 minutes long.
Song.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour.
What songs do you listen to?
Frostbite from the windshield.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate the alarm funnel.
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3,
Well, if you thought the intro was on, we're still in the intro.
1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
That was the intro for the intro.
This is
Slow motion. Look how cool it is. It's not. Well, technically, I think Big Boss might be a bit bisexual.
Oh,
Jack, I've got some
I
important
like
news.
this game then.
The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission.
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially
I was
organized into a
confused.
unit.
Has he got his
Virtuous mission.
like camouflage on already?
Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You're don't get cocky. This
Might
isn't
be
a
his
training
wrinkles.
op.
Right.
Young. Yeah.
So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Don't you?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich
So
Sokolov,
Sokolov's an important character.
head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau,
Sokolov.
one
Sokolov,
of the
that's him.
Soviets' top secret weapon research
what's he done?
facilities, and the
He's
East's
explaining it.
foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961,
That
the
coffee
Soviets
is an
achieved
offence
the
to
first
coffee.
manned spaceflight
Make
in
your
history.
own next time.
The
No.
Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A1,
So we're gonna save
known as
Sokolov.
the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight,
So I can't
Sokolov
skip
left
these because I'm going to use all this footage
become
to
the head of the newly established
in a big
Design Bureau.
in another bore people.
From a
People are going to
lowly
be
technician to head of a
interested
design
in my
bureau,
Metal Gear
that's quite a
feature.
success
Hopefully,
story. So why do you want
the
to
5
defect?
people that maybe watch
It
it.
seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
One of them's you.
Afraid.
Call it
2
a
of them will be
crisis of
me because I'll be
conscience.
checking it from different
And for that,
accounts.
He left his country and his
See if it
family behind and
works.
went over the fence.
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin
Not even
Wall
10 minutes in,
shortly
you look
afterwards.
bored.
I was the one who
Hate
conducted the
insurance.
operation.
Do you just want to get into
The
it?
security
Well, I
on
can't
the
skip
eastern
it
side was still full of
because
holes back
otherwise
then.
I'm going to have to go
Then
back and
what?
re-record all of this, and
We
I'm
got
not going to do
Sokolov
that.
over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile
Cuban
Crisis.
Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962.
History.
President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were
Yeah,
in the
look,
process of
that's
deploying
President.
intermediate-range ballistic
President
missiles
Kennedy.
in Cuba.
JFK assassination?
The president demanded that the Soviets
Don't sh-
dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to
Paid
prevent
attention
further
in
missile
history.
shipments
We
from
learned this in
reaching Cuba.
history.
But the
No,
Soviets
No,
didn't
I'm
back
just
down,
not.
instead placing
not
their
in
armed
from our
forces
school.
on
We didn't
secondary
learn
alert.
any of that. We
Soviet
learned mostly about the
transport ships
Holocaust
carrying
every
missiles
year
continued on course towards Cuba.
and
US and
medieval
Soviet
times.
forces went on alert for an all-out
And the kings
nuclear
and the
war.
queens.
Frantic negotiations were
medieval
conducted
times,
through the UN's
roughly.
Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels.
Unless you go into
to
your
end
10
the
and you
hair-trigger
get out the
scandal.
medieval times.
Finally, on October the 28th, the
Good
Soviet
plot.
Union agreed to remove its missiles
After the
from
medieval times.
Cuba, so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the U.S. agreed to remove its IRBMs from
So
Turkey?
this is all history.
No.
It's set
Jupiter
in
IRBMs
reality.
deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey
What I'm
deal
slightly
was a
confused
ruse.
about is why a
The cover
British
story
man
was
is.
fed to the other intelligence
Saving
agencies
America.
around the world.
So
Yeah.
what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov.
Americans.
Maybe I think.
They
I,
wanted us to return Sokolov.
but then again, he's with a
You
branch
It's a
of the
game,
CIA.
Soviets pulled
Well,
out
It's a
yeah,
of Cuba
game.
just to get their
But
hands
also-
on Sokolov?
it's cool to have a British
That's
man
right.
because he's basically
The
based
hell are you
on
working
Michael.
on?
He's basically based on
At
Michael
the time,
Caine.
we had no idea.
I'm Michael
We
Caine.
were running out of
I
time.
was in the Batman movies.
It was either give up Sokolov
Alfred.
or risk full-scale
I've seen
nuclear
that
war.
movie in my
Harry
life.
Brown,
And we had no
I've seen
choice.
that in my life.
Italian job.
President Kennedy
No.
gave in to Khrushchev's
You know who Michael Caine is.
Recognise the name.
The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handed him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared.
I'm going to show you who Michael Caine is, and if you don't recognise him, then him.
Never
Then a
seen
month
in my
ago,
life.
we
my
received some
God.
new information from one of our moles.
About
Oh,
Sokolov?
researching keratin.
Yes.
Oh, I
he
was trying to
taken back
because
to
there's
the
frogs
research
in that you
facility
can
for
shoot in the
continued
game.
working on the weapon
The
in
little
question under
collectible
KGB
frogs.
supervision.
If we get them all, we get something
What's
special.
more,
What
it's
do
on
you
the
get?
verge of
Keratin.
completion.
I'm not sure.
So
Let's have a
what
look
kind
what
of
we
weapon
get.
is it?
Keratin's very high.
Something to do with
I
space
know. I
rockets?
think
Pretty
I
hard
spelt
made.
it wrong, and then Google
Missiles.
suggested something else.
Same
Keratin's pretty hard
technology.
made up of.
I know that.
I guess you're right.
didn't,
We
did
don't
you?
know the details, but it
You
appears
got
to be a
punch
new
in
kind
it.
of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets
Oh,
have been
not
conducting
nice, my
frequent
friends.
nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Oh,
Is Sokolov still in the
Karotan
vicinity?
frogs. There's 64 of them.
According to our intelligence, he's in Selino Yask, a place in the mountains.
For some
about
reason I
3
got
miles
the
to west,
the hard
known as
ones
the
to
Virgin
get,
Cliffs.
and then I missed all the easy ones.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a
What?
virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
And then on the 3DS they replaced it with
Apparently,
Yoshi.
they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never
Oh,
have been
because it's
possible if
Nintendo.
he was still in the research
Oh, it's
facility.
Simon.
This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
I think we're gonna get into the game now. You seem very enthusiastic.
Not yet.
Well, it's a stealth game, so you gotta take it very slowly. No, there's very exciting bits after. Well, my first playthrough took 9 hours.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission
That's
is
because
to
of skip
infiltrate
stuff. Oh, we
Selino
can go in first
Yask in the
person.
Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the West.
Press the R1 button.
If we don't get
Yeah.
Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
Look how cool he is.
Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the
okay.
recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2
They're very
40mm
into
machine
giving you
guns.
all the information about all the
Sounds
guns.
like she could hold her own against a battalion of
No,
tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit.
it's just
If
cool
all
to
goes
hear
well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
facts and figures.
Home in
About
time for
guns.
dinner.
What do you think
But
of Snake's
if
voice?
anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner,
No,
breakfast,
that's right.
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
I've been listening. Why's he got a little parachute on his parachute?
Because in case the big parachute fails, then you've got the little parachute to save you.
It's like a little diddy one.
Yeah, it's back up. That parachute don't look very safe. It's quite big.
Oh, this is where things go wrong. Oh no! Yeah! Snake always starts out like this.
Back it up, bud. That's what it's for.
Always like masked, but we've already seen his face, so it doesn't really count.
Why would it be dramatic?
It looks cool, Isabel. Actually, it's just the model. Oh, that's. Look how cool he is. It's actually just the game's model because he's gonna have a bandana around it. That's a good mullet.
It's quite hot here. I don't know.
So this is the codec screen.
Do you copy? You're already in
You can
enemy
scroll
territory.
across.
Somebody
Unlock
might
it.
be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
Some moving about.
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom.
Ground control to
This will
Major
be a
Tom.
sneaking mission.
There's time.
You must
babes.
not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your
What?
In the
presence.
song.
Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words,
I missed what you
weapons
said.
and
In
equipment
the
are
song,
procure on
it's
site.
time.
That goes
Ground
for food as well.
control.
You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
It's not Major Time.
Ask me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me snake.
Don't tell me you think it's Major Time, do you?
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Oh my god.
Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer
Oh.
gun. Use them to hunt for food.
Obviously
You'll also
wrong
find
with
some
it
medical
is.
supplies in your backpack.
Major Time.
About the backpack. I lost it in a tree on
Naked
the way down.
Snake and Major Time.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
We've lost his
No
backpack,
problem.
so we've got to go
I can
get it.
see it from here.
Okay.
We've gotta
It's
do it
stuck on a
sneaky.
branch.
No one's even around.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk.
55 here.
Who is?
If you need to talk
Major
to me,
Tom.
use the
And
send
he survives
function.
all the way to Metal Gear Solid 4,
Okay,
which
Snake,
was set in
Go
2014.
get your backpack.
50 years later. You see him in a wheelchair and he poos himself.
Oh. Go.
Oh, we can go. Right, so this is the game. We can walk around,
Right, don't make him dizzy.
we can crouch, and then when we crouch, we can go prone and crawl like this.
Right, let's just go with his bag.
We can do this. We can also... I need to show this all off. Oh wait, we can't access any of this. This is the food thing. We can't do anything with that yet. Well, we don't want to. So we need to go get his bag. We hide in the grass. We've got more camouflage,
Alright.
so we can sneak. There's his bag. Yeah. I've forgotten how to play this one.
Oh,
Kind of.
we've got a call.
Alright, it's doing it for me.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the
So
survival
Metal Gear
viewer,
likes to explain
choose
everything.
weapon from the backpack.
I
Your
already know
available
all this,
weapons
but
will
I'll
be
play it
displayed
for
in a
you.
window in the upper left. From
But
that
I also
list,
need to
choose
play it
the
because
weapon
I'm
you want to
recording
equip
it
and
for other
press the
stuff,
enter
aren't I?
button. For other equipped items, just
can
do the
use this
same
as a
thing
point.
from item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep,
Do you like
that's
Snake's
right.
voice?
Survival is fundamental
Why?
to this mission.
It's just a voice.
After you've been out in the field for a
I
while,
like
your
Snake's voice.
stamina will
This, I
start
think this
to
is the
drop.
best David Hater
If
is.
your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot
Do you
accurately,
know
for
who's
example,
voicing Snake
and your
now?
wounds won't heal as smoothly.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
What's he done?
My only
24?
weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun.
I'm not
That's
sure
right.
what else
It's
he's
been
done.
fitted
He's
with its
done a
own
lot,
suppressor.
but
However,
just
the
kind
suppressor
of-
will deteriorate every time you
he's
fire.
not really Snake.
Once its durability reaches zero, the
'Cause
noise
Snake
suppression
sounds
effect will
like
be gone.
this.
So don't get too trigger
Metal
happy with it.
Gear.
The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find
So
as you
we've got
go.
to find equipment.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international
It's a bug.
conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed
If
to
I
be
was
any
Snake, I'd
American
punch it
soldiers
and
in
eat it.
Russia. It could spark an
What are you gonna
international
do?
incident.
It's it.
You
Use
can't
your
let
cup.
anyone see you. You can't let the
Just
enemy
smush
know
it.
you're there.
I'm not-
This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if
It
you're
was
captured.
harmless.
The
doing
military and
nothing.
US government will deny any
You've
involvement
missed
in the
all
affair.
this great
Then
story.
I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It will send you into a state
So,
of false death for a
This
short time.
kind of never
Fooling
happens.
them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
I
No.
mean that thing they put in my tooth.
Who's
before the
Jasper?
mission.
That's the one.
Who is he?
But be careful. If you remain in a
Jasper,
state of
not
false death
Jasper.
for too long,
Who is
nothing
he?
will be able to bring you
Joseph
back.
Casper Lee.
Remember that.
Who?
I'll
Joseph
keep it
and
in
Casper Lee.
mind. You said this
Who's
was a
they?
solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any
Well, they don't count, do they? They're not
Correct.
names I
Mission
should recognise,
rests
really.
entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
Oh,
I'll
we're getting
introduce them
introduced to
to you.
characters now.
This time, survival is of utmost importance.
We've,
The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical
they're very
condition,
important, these
acting
characters.
as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means
Gotta
nothing
go
on
find
the
him.
battlefield. After a
Do you
week,
get the joke?
no one has a name.
Who?
What's your name?
My phone is-
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell
Look,
you my name only
Major
if you manage to
Time.
make it back alive. My frequency is
Found John Doe, Jane
145.73.
Doe, 1.0.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save,
So I used to
send a
think
message
so
over the
sour when we
reserved
kept
save
having Jane
frequency,
Does and John Doe for- I'm gonna die
140.96.
again.
So
There's the
saving
thing, I
lets me
died over
record
and
my
over.
You
mission
didn't-
data.
That's
Until I
right.
realised what a
It
John
also
Doe was.
records the state of your health.
Good to
I
know.
can't believe you had to actually
There's
Google
one
it
more
and didn't
person
just
I want
catch
to
on.
introduce you
No,
to,
but this
Snake.
is when I was like 10.
Yeah,
Speaking of
I did the
snakes,
same
You
when I was
remember the
10.
boss,
Of course
don't you?
on.
Well, it was
A
me
legendary
at 10,
soldier
you
and
were
your
10
mentor.
different.
Actually, it was the
You're
boss that
kind
got
of
the
still the
DCI's
same.
authorization in the first place.
No.
Yeah,
She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
not really catching on to things.
Bosses.
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Aren't they supposed to be calling
Boss.
them
That's
Snake?
right. It's me.
Jack's not his real name.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
This is the boss.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18
Snake
hours.
has a bit of an obsession with the boss.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know
it's
about
not really a
fighting
romantic
techniques.
plot line.
I taught you all I could.
The
rest you needed to learn on your own.
motherly plot line.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact,
The boss
technique
is
doesn't
very
even
important
matter.
to this
What's
story.
most important is spirit.
She's the main villain,
Spirit and body
basically.
are like two sides of a single coin.
but you don't know
They're
that
the
yet.
same thing. I can't teach you how to think.
Plot twist.
You'll just have to figure it
Kind
out
of.
for
You've
yourself.
just ruined it for everyone.
Listen to me, Jack.
Yeah, but if you've not
Just
played
because
Metal Gear Solid
soldiers
3
are
or
on
know
the
the plot's
same
meant to be a
side
Solid
right
3 at
now
this point, then
doesn't mean
what are
they
you doing?
always will be.
The game came out in
Having personal
2005.
feelings about your
only 10
comrades
years
is
old.
one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face
Nearly
on the
10 years
battlefield.
old.
And politics are a living
I'm not going
thing.
into
They
specifics.
change along with the times.
Was it 2005?
Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told
No,
you.
2004.
I was on a top secret
So it
mission.
is nearly
A
10 years
soldier has
old.
to follow whatever orders he's given.
November
It's
24th.
not his place to question why. But you're
Listen,
looking for
pedantic.
a reason to fight. You are a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool,
Yes, Isabel.
nothing more.
Take
That's
these
doubly
words of
true if he's a
advice,
career
because
soldier.
when you become a soldier
Right
after
and
doing
wrong
your
have no
crunches and
place
your
in his mission.
squats,
He has no enemies and no friends.
are you
Only
learning
the
the basics of
mission. You
CQC?
follow the orders you're given.
What's that?
That's what
You
being
want to
a
learn about
soldier
CQC in
is.
a minute.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
No, but
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president
This-
and the top brass won't be there forever.
do you think
Once
they
their
really should be
terms
having
are
this
up,
powwow
others will
now?
take their place.
Or maybe
I
like
follow the will of the
wait
leader,
until he
no
comes
matter
back.
who's in charge.
Like
People aren't the
I
ones who
think they should be
dictate the
getting on with
missions.
whatever he's supposed to be
Then
doing,
who
not just
does?
sitting around
The
bobbing his
times.
backpack from his
People's
friends.
values change over time, and so do the leaders of a
I'm just
country.
worried about his knees.
So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms.
Do you think he like
The
shuffles
enemies we
about?
fight are only enemies
It's
in
not real,
relative
Joel.
terms.
It's a game.
Do you think he
constantly
sits
changing
down
with
cross
time.
legs?
As
Well,
long
he
as
does.
we have
You can die.
loyalty to the end,
But
there's
He
no
goes,
point in believing in
Yeah,
anything,
but they're not paying
even
for
in
the
those
fees,
we
it's not
love.
arthritis.
And that's the way a
No, that
soldier's
happens in Metal Gear
supposed to
Solid
think.
4.
The
See,
only
ready,
thing we
three.
can believe in with absolute certainty.
Snake gets a
Is
bad
the
back,
mission,
and then he
Jack.
pats his
All
back,
right.
and he has to
Do
take
me a
medicine
favor.
for it,
What is it?
And a half.
Call me Snake.
and then he has stress.
Oh, right.
Oh, no,
Your
yours.
code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary
So we've
unit
moved the
that
controls
boss
for
put
maybe 2
together during
minutes,
World War
and
II
we're
was a
nearly
snake.
half an hour
The
in.
Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah. I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more
Shush
thing,
you.
boss.
Yes,
Everyone can
It's
hear
good to
you,
hear your voice again.
same
so
here.
go to bed.
After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you were always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle.
Great.
Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in
See,
handy.
now we're going.
CQC. Close quarters
You're learning
combat,
CQC.
huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here
We're going
to
to
help
teach you the
remember.
basics of
After all,
CQC,
this
and then
is
you're going to
your
use
first
it
actual survival
in
mission.
self-defense.
I'll be supporting you over the radio.
It's not really
Where
about
are
punching.
you, boss? Next to the major.
Kind of just about
The boss
slapping
is
each other.
communicating with us by radio
throwing
from
each other
aboard
to
a
the floor.
Hermit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency
that.
is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr.
We're
Sokolov.
going to get Sokolov now.
Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory
There.
located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a
It's a
stealth
stealth mission as well. It's all about stealth.